Our next topic is the Lamarckism, second theory of evolution. First we have seen the Darwin's theory of natural selection, second one is the Lamarckism. The theory of Lamarckism is, it is a theory of inheritance of acquired characters. Okay? Inheritance means the transfer of character from one generation to the next generation. Okay? So here is the inheritance of the acquired characters, okay, which is acquired during the life period by that organism. Okay? It is not naturally present character, it is acquired during their life experience, and these character which are acquired by organism are also inherits. Okay? That is the Lamarckism. Okay? Which is, this theory was given by the scientist Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck, that is why it is called as a Lamarckism. Okay? The study of Lamarckism or Lamarck is based on the comparison between the fossils and the living organisms. Okay? Now the postulates of the theory of Lamarckism. First postulate is the new needs. Why there is a acquirement of the characters? Okay? So he told that there is a new needs to that particular organism. Okay? Maybe their environmental factors, due to the changing in the environmental condition, there is a new need of the character to that particular organism. That's why this organism acquires that character. So basic is the new needs. That's why there is a acquirement of the character. Okay? Second one is the use and disuse of the organ. Okay? So if the organ is used, there is a development in that organism, but if the organ is not in use, that is the disuse. Okay? Those organisms will be degenerated. Okay? Or those organ will be reduced. Okay? Functionless. Okay? That is the use and disuse of the organs. Then inheritance of the acquired characters. Then those characters are acquired. Okay? These characters are also inherited. Means there is a transfer of the characters, okay, from one generation to the next generation, and then finally it will lead to speciation. Speciation means formation of the new species. Okay? So these are the postulates of the Lamarck's theory. Okay? Now we will see the example. The first example is the giraffe. You know the giraffe. The neck of the giraffe is very long. Okay? And the forelimbs are also very long as compared to its hind limbs. Okay? So this is the example of the new need. Okay? It is believed that the neck of the giraffe, okay, is not initially too long. Okay? It is a later development because of the new needs. Why new need? It is believed that this giraffe is evolved from the horse-like animal or donkey-like animals. Okay? It is believed that the giraffe is evolved from the horse-like animal or the donkey-like animal. Okay? So what happened in the same time or the era, there is the no short plants are present on the earth. All the plants are tall. Okay? Due to some reason there is no short plants, there are only a long or tall plants are present. So due to this, these horse-like animals or donkey-like animals start to feed on the tall plant trees, okay, or leaves of the tall trees. Okay? So due to this, they are trying to extend their neck continuously for more generations. Okay? So due to this, what happened? Their neck is permanently extended, and that extended neck character is also transferred to the next generation. Okay? And along with the extension of neck, there is increase in height of the forelimbs. Okay? For to grab the leaves of the tall trees, they are trying continuously to reach there. Okay? That's why the neck is also extended. Okay? Extension of neck and the raising of the legs, okay, to reach there. So due to this character is acquired. Okay? And Lamarck told that, so that's why giraffe acquired the character. Okay? And because this is not a natural character, this is acquired during his life due to the new need, okay, for a food, and this acquired character is also transferred to the next generation, and that's why we get a new species, that is a giraffe, which is evolved from the pre-existing horse-like or donkey-like animal. Okay, so which leads to speciation. Okay, so this is a use of neck is more, that's why neck is evolved, and that evolved neck is inherited. Okay, that is the acquired character, and then finally leads to the speciation, that is formation of the new species, that is giraffe. Okay, then another example is the snakes. The example is python and boa snakes. Okay, they have a small remains of the pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle means which is made up of the ribs and the long bone, okay, sternum, okay, and to this pectoral girdle there is attached bones of the limbs. So this is our pectoral girdle. So like this pectoral girdle in human, in reptiles are also it is present. Okay, so they have a small remains of the pectoral girdle, not well developed into the snakes. Okay, but there is a small pectoral girdle is remain, and there is a rudiments of the pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle means the lower bones. Okay, from which the femur gets arises. So there is a hip bone which forms the pectoral girdle. So there is a rudiments of the pelvic girdles are present till today into the reptiles. Okay, but these are gets lost. Okay, function, because there is a no use, because they lost their legs. Okay, snakes lost their legs, that's why there is a no use of their pelvic girdle and the pectoral girdle. That's why they gets reduced, they gets rudiments. Okay, not well developed. So that is the disuse. So this is the example of disuse of organ. If the organ is not in use, it will be obviously reduced. Okay, then third one is example is aquatic bird. Third example is aquatic bird. Okay, in aquatic bird wings are not in use, that's why the wings of the aquatic bird is reduced. Okay, the example is duck. Then toes, but in aquatic birds toes are used for the swimming purpose, so that's why they developed waves. Otherwise the birds does not have waves. Okay, in between their toes there is a wave, okay, which is a thin film like structure which helps in the swimming process. Then so this is a use, they use the toes for the swimming, so there is a development of the waves in between their toes, and there is a no use of wings, that's why wings get reduced. So that is the use and disuse of organ which leads to the new character. And then another one example is the flightless birds. Okay, ostrich and emu, these are the best example of the flightless birds. These are the birds but which cannot fly. Okay, why? Because they did not use their wings, that's why now their wings does not have capacity to fly. That is why these are called as a flightless bird. So there is a no use of the wings, that's why they lost their capacity, they lost their function, and that's why the wings are reduced into the ostrich and emu bird. So this is the disuse of organ. So these are the examples of the Lamarck's theory, okay, which proves the Lamarck theory. But along with the examples there is also criticism, okay, to the Lamarck theory, and the Lamarck theory is disproved by the many scientists. So now we will see the criticisms by the different scientists to the Lamarckism. So criticism, first one is the scientist, that is August Weismann scientist. Okay, he proposed the theory of continuity of germ plasm. He told about the theory of continuity of germ plasm. For that purpose we will see the example. He performed an experiment on the rats. What he did, he cut or chop off the tail of the rat, okay, and he continue it for 20 generations. So for 20 generations, okay, during each generation it chop up or cut the tail of the rat, and then observed the tail of the next generation's tail of the next generation's rat, and he also measured the length of the tail of the new generation's rats. But he found that there is no decrease or there is no small change in the length of the tail of the rats. So that's why he told that if we have cut the tail of the rats, ठीक है. So it is the acquired character because after cutting the tail there is no use of tail, so that is a disuse. So it should be degenerate or it should be reduced, but in case of that rat it does not happen. He performed the experiment for continuously 20 generations, but he gets the same result, that is there is no change in length of the tail of the rat. So he clearly says that or criticize the Lamarckism or disprove the Lamarckism. Okay. Then another one example that is famous, you know that is Pavlov's experiment. Pavlov performed the experiment on the dog. Okay. What he did, he he bell the ring and then followed the food. So bell followed by food. So he offered the food to the dog. Okay. After ringing the bell, he continuously performed this experiment. After some duration, what happened? After only he rangs the bell but did not offer the food, but the dog start to salivation, okay, due to only of rings or due to of that bell. So it is the acquired character, okay, it is the acquired character. So dog gets habitual with the ring, and as the dog hear the ring, it starts to salivation. So that is the acquired character. Okay. Now what happened? After the reproduction of this dog, Pavlov again observed the puppies. Okay. But this puppies does not have that character which is present in the previously dog. So what he did with that puppies? He again ring the bell, but there is no salivation in the puppies, because there is no transfer of that character which is acquired during the life of that dog. So he also told that the Lamarckism, or he also disproved the Lamarckism, okay, by this experiment, that is on the dog. Then another one example which also disproves the theory of Lamarck, that is wrestler's muscles. Wrestler's muscles are very well developed muscles, so it is an acquired character. These are naturally not naturally well developed, okay. So it develops in their life. So the babies of wrestler should also have a well developed muscles. According to the Lamarckism, wrestlers babies should also have a well developed muscle, okay, but generally we does not found it, okay. So all the examples according to the Lamarckism or Lamarck theory, it does not apply on these examples. So there is a criticism to the Lamarck's theory, or it is disproved by the different scientists. So here we completed the second theory, that is theory of inheritance of acquired character, which is given by the scientist, that is Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck, which is also called as Lamarckism. Evolution, and then we will see the Neo-Darwinism theory or modern theory, or which is also called as the synthetic theory of the evolution. Okay, we have seen the two theories of the evolution. So now third theory, that is mutation theory of evolution. This theory is given by the scientist Hugo de Vries. Okay, simply mutation. Now what is the mutation? Mutation means a sudden changes into the genes or sudden change into the DNA, which causes the changes in sudden characteristics, okay, or suddenly changes into the characteristics of that particular organism, that is called as a mutation, okay. So the scientist, that is Hugo de Vries, works on a plant is called as evening primrose plant, okay. The scientific name of that plant is Oenothera lamarckiana, okay, Oenothera lamarckiana. It is a garden plant, okay, that is evening primrose, and that evening primrose have a chromosome that is 14 in number, that is diploid, okay. So diploid number, that is total number of chromosomes in diploid condition is 14, okay. In human being there are 46, and in evening primrose or Oenothera lamarckiana is 14 number of chromosomes, okay, diploid condition. It means that the haploid condition will be 7 chromosomes. So what happened? He means the Hugo de Vries selected some plants, okay, from the garden and allows the cell pollination of that plants. You know that the cell pollination. Self pollination means the transfer of pollen grain within the same flower. Okay, that is the self pollination. So he allows the self pollination into the evening primrose plants and then observe the plants. Okay, after self pollination he observed the plants of the next generation and he observed that majority of the plants showed a minor variation. Majority of plants showed a minor variations and there are few plants which showed a major variations, okay, from their parent characteristics. So he found the two different groups of the plants which shows the majority of the plants which shows the minor variations, and there are few plants which shows the major variations from this parent plant. Then what next step is, he again performed the self pollination in between the few plants which shows a major variation. Okay, so he continue with the few plants which show a major variation and again he allows the self pollination. After the self pollination again he found the two groups of the plants, that is majority of the plants which shows again a same type, that is minor variation, and again there are few plants which shows the major variation. So he concluded that these variations, these are suddenly variations, okay, because this evening primrose, suppose this is a parent, okay, and from parent these are the next generation. So in the next generation, in the consequently generations, okay, it shows the variation, that is major variation in the few plants. So he concluded that these few plants show major variation and the reason behind the major variation is the mutation, that is the sudden change in their DNA or sudden change in their chromosomes. Okay. So what are the variations which are shown by the few plants? So variations, now we will see the variation. So these are the variations which are shown by these few plants. First one is size of the flower is different from the parent plants, color of the flower is also different, position of flower is also different, and the important point, he noticed that the chromosome numbers are also differ from the parent plant. Parent plant have a chromosome number 14 in diploid condition, but he got a different number of chromosomes in different plants, that is 16, 20, 22, 24, 28, 30 and etc. Okay. So there is a change in number of chromosome and that's why he concluded this is the reason, okay, that is the sudden change in number of chromosome causes the mutation, causes a change in the or causes a variation in the evening primrose plant. That's why he produces size of flower is different from the parent plant, then color of flower is different and position of the flower is different. Okay. So examples of this theory is the Ancon sheep. Okay. There is a sheep which is found, that is Ancon sheep, which have a small legs. Okay. Suddenly in the Ancon sheep herds, okay, means in their that population, Ancon sheep's population, the sheep is observed or found with the small legs than the other populations. So this sheep is an Ancon sheep. So that this is example of sudden change, that is the mutation. Then another one proof for this theory is the similar type of experiment is performed by a scientist, that is Dougal and Shull, and they got a same result, okay, which is found to the Hugo de Vries, and these mutation seen common in plants where we get the polyploidy condition, means the plants which show the polyploidy conditions, in these plants this mutation is commonly found. So these are the some proofs of the mutation theory. Okay. Now here we completed the mutation theory of the Hugo de Vries. Mutation means the sudden change. Okay. So we observe or we found the different characteristics, different variations into the next generation, and it is maybe due to the mutation, okay, which is told by the Hugo de Vries. Now our next theory is the Neo-Darwinism theory or modern theory or synthetic theory of the evolution. Okay. This theory is based on the actually the Darwin's theory of natural selection, that is why this is called as a Neo-Darwinism theory or modern theory. So this theory gives a postulates, and that is the two postulates is given by this theory, that is gene variability and natural selection. Okay. So this theory tells that or says that the gene variability is the causes of the variation and natural selection is the causes of variation. Okay. Gene variability means variations into the genes in the different populations. Due to this gene variation, in the population some organism shows the different characteristics. Okay. So now we will see the first, that is the gene variability. Okay. First postulate, that is the gene variability. Now for the gene variability there are different causes. So causes of gene variability, these are the causes of gene variability. So first one cause is the mutation for the gene variability. Mutation means the sudden change in the chromosome or the DNA. So mutation is of again two types, that is chromosomal mutation or genetic type of mutation. Mutation are of again two types, that is chromosomal and genetic. The chromosomal mutation is of again two types, that is morphological mutation and numeric mutation. Now what is actually the morphological mutation? In morphological mutation of chromosome, there is an addition of the one chromosome, or there is a deletion, or there is a translocation of the genes from one location of the chromosome to the another location of chromosome. Okay. In this morphological we can consider the Down syndrome. In Down syndrome there is an addition of one extra chromosome at the 21st chromosome, that is at the autosome. So we call it as a trisomy of 21st. So there is an addition and there may be a deletion. Okay. Monosomy. Okay. Y chromosome is absent, there is only one X chromosome, that is the monosomy. So in morphological chromosomal mutation, it is related with the addition, deletion or the translocation, means the change in position of the chromosome is called as the morphological chromosomal mutation. And then another type of chromosomal mutation is the numeric. Numeric means there is a change in number of the chromosomes, means aneuploidy there is a plus or minus one or two chromosomes, and euploidy. Euploidy means the normal number of chromosomes, n, or decreases by the half number of chromosome, which also causes the variation. If the chromosome number changes or reduced to the half, it will also causes a variation. And aneuploidy means there is an unusual chromosome, there is a plus or minus one or two chromosome, which is called as a aneuploidy. And second one is the genetic. Genetic means there is a point mutation, means at the gene level there may be a single change into the genetic sequence. Okay. The example of this is the sickle cell anemia. Okay. In the sickle cell anemia, we have seen in the molecular basis of inheritance chapter point mutation. Okay. There is a single change into the, that is gene. Okay. And due to that change in gene, which causes the sickle cell anemia. Okay. So for genetic or point mutation, we can consider the example of sickle cell anemia. So these are the mutation which causes the gene variability. Then second one cause is the recombination. Now you know that the recombination takes place during the meiotic division. We have seen the cell division, cell cycle. So we have studied the recombination, that is recombination means crossing over during meiotic cell division, and due to that recombination, due to the mixing of that genetic material, it produces the variation into the next generations. Okay. We have studied the recombination, how recombination causes the variation. That's why today we are observing the variations, okay, in our or the characters. We are differing from our parent due to the recombination, because we are produced from the gametes of the parent, and gametes are produced by the meiotic division in the parent. That's why there is a recombination, and due to that recombination it produces the variation. You know that the meiotic division or meiosis is responsible for the variation, and that variation is produced due to the recombination process. Then next one cause of gene variability is the hybridization. Simple hybridization means two species are crossed, and the organism which is produced by crossing the two different species is called as a hybrid. Okay, is called as a hybrid. And again this hybrid have a different type of genotypes. Okay, so it shows a variation from their parent. So that is why gene variability. And another one cause, that is last cause for gene variability is the genetic drift. Genetic drift. Now what is genetic drift? Genetic drift means elimination of a gene or the allele from a population. Okay, means there is a elimination, deletion of the gene or maybe allele. Allele means a pair of the gene. Okay, so one single gene or in a pair, okay, when it gets eliminated from any particular population, that is complete population, not from a single organism, from the complete population, then we call as a genetic drift. And due to that deletion, it causes a variation in that organism, and obviously it will produces a new species. So that is the Neo-Darwinism theory. Okay. So there are two postulates, that is gene variability and natural selection. Here we completed the one postulate, that is gene variability and causes of the gene variability.